Hello, this is a tutorial on 5.4a PBA 83, solving mixed fraction problems using a calculator, and there's some negative numbers thrown in here as a challenge. So the good news is we'll be using a calculator. The bad news is this one's going to make you think. It starts off pretty easy. Write each number as a decimal, round it to 3 decimal places. So let's just do 11/16 here. So again, that's just 11 divided by 16 equals 0.6875, 0.6875. Now we're going to round it to 3 decimals. So here's the third decimal place. We just have to basically decide, is there enough behind it? Some people put in a door. Is there enough behind the door to make that 688? Yes, there is, because it's 5 or more. We go up, 5 to the sky they call it, 4 or less, call it 4 to the floor. So in this case, this would round to 0.688. Then you just look for your answer over here, 0.688, and we are going to cross out the letter, and it's going to solve this exciting puzzle. What did Tommy say when somebody tried to grab his plastic blocks? I bet you can't wait. Oh, it's a good one. All right, let's take a look at the next grouping of problems. Now, again, it's going to require you to read the directions here. Write each number as a decimal, round it, if necessary, to 3 decimal places, then perform the indicated operation. So we have to do 5 2/9. Now, 5 2/9, if you could put it in your calculator, is going to be 5.222. It just keeps going on and on and on. Okay, so that rounded, let's get a different color pen here. The rounded version of that then would just be 5.222, because this, that last 2 there isn't enough to move that up. Okay, now we're going to do 9/16. So we're going to have to add. Let's figure out what 9/16 is. It's 0.56 something. 9 divided by 16 is 0.5625. So this one is this is 8.5625. And again, we have to look at the third decimal, 0.562, and then draw that door and look in there. Is there enough to call that 0.563? And yes, there is. So we'll add 8.563. And so now we can just put that in the calculator and let the calculator do the work. So 5.123 plus 8.563 equals 13.785. 13.785. Can we find a 13.785 anywhere on here? 13.785. And I bet you they're going to round their answers. Ha! And of course, they're going to round their answers to the nearest hundredth. So 13.785, let me just write this down, 13.785 rounded to the hundredth is going to be 13.79, which is right here. Whew. Okay, so that's the way this game plays out. Down here, when you have these x's involved, don't worry about the x's. These are all x's, so just add all these 3 things up, make them into decimals, round the decimals to the third, as above, and then you'll just add them all up, and there'll be an x on the back side of it. Same thing with here too. You'll have to combine these x's, which means these ones here. Do this first because it's inside the parentheses order of operations, and then you'll subtract. All right, let's do one more problem here. Snorkel was running his first marathon of 26 1/5 miles. He ran 5/6 of the way before slowing to a walk. How far had he run? Okay, well, we're going to do 26.5. Let's just throw in a little blank here. So this is going to be a multiplication problem because he hasn't run the whole thing. So it was 26 point, well, I was going to say 0.2, 26, and we're going to multiply that times 5/6 of it, because that's what he did. Right, so 26 and 1/5, so that's going to be 26.2, and it just terminates. There's nothing past that. So we don't have to go to the third decimal. That is just 0.2. But 5/6 is going to be 0.8333 on your calculator. So we have to go to the third one. We're on to the third. And then look, is there enough there to bounce that up to 0.8334? No, there's not. So this is just going to be times 0.833. Sorry, put my slash in the wrong spot there. And now we can just put that into the calculator and see what we get. Do the easy part. So 26.2 times 0.833. That is 21.8246. Now, last time they rounded to the nearest hundredth, which would be this spot right here. We look behind it, there's really not enough. So right now I'm looking for 21.82 miles, because that would probably be the answer, unless they decided to round to a different number in this bottom half. And it's right there. So just cross that off and keep crossing the answers off to get the answer to that exciting question. Okay, enjoy and have fun. It's kind of a fun challenge sheet.